share a story about Watson, the journey we've been on for a couple of years now. Humans have long relied on computers to expand the power of cognitive computing. It began over a century ago with tabulation machines, which automated things like the census of Social Security, and for the last 60 years has presented itself in the form of programmable computing. Systems that can carry out specific functions, using rules and rigid decision tree logic to provide single responses in a world where there is seldom a single answer. In today's world where data and information are proliferating at an unprecedented pace, these deterministic systems often break or fail to keep up. With time and progress, things change, yet the rules remain unchanged. While the form factor with which we interact with information has changed, including smartphones, tablets, and laptops, the basic underlying technology is largely the same. Enter a new era of computing, where computers can think and act and operate very differently, where they navigate the complexities of human language, where they can read and understand unstructured and unprecedented amount of information from blogs and from tweets, from newspapers, and from periodicals, where they get progressively smarter with each interaction, use, and outcome. What I want to talk to you about today is how cognitive computing is transforming professions, industries, and even our very lives. We'll talk about human cognition, the process of how we interact and learn. We'll talk about Watson as a game-changing technology. And finally, we'll look at how Watson is already at work today in the marketplace. So how do we think? Every day, every minute, our brains process incredible amounts of information and to go through multiple stages of analysis. Most of the time, this happens without us even realizing it. This is the human cognition framework. First, we observe surroundings. We interpret what we see. We evaluate this based on our own experiences, and we make decisions. We do this instinctively. We learn from our experiences as well as our mistakes, which over time enables us to become experts in our field. We can all relate to this. All of us are those experts, and we worked hard to become so. We draw upon our experience to make decisions. However, we're only human, and there are limits to what we can do. As professionals, we need help. At a time when our professions are being overrun with the amount of data and information, we need new tools. I'll give you an example. Let's start with the profession of law. This lawyer is an expert. She was president of the Stanford Law Review and was recently promoted to chief legal counsel for a Fortune 100 corporation. She's vetting a multi-billion-dollar acquisition and is wondering whether outside expertise schooled in corporate aversions is required. We see this pattern play out over and over across professions. Let's look at the more creative end of the spectrum. Let's look at the chef. She too is an expert. She studied at the Cordon Bleu, owns an acclaimed restaurant, and has 2 Michelin stars. But every night, dozens of very demanding patrons come through her door expecting perfection. In order to deliver the best experience to her customers, she is constantly making critical decisions. She tries to keep up with the latest culinary trends, but the task can be overwhelming. Sound familiar? The context of the challenges cannot be more different, but the way that these two professionals approach decision-making is remarkably similar. The quality of the decisions in all these professions is driven by their experience, with each profession having its own unique body of language or knowledge. And like all of us, these professions have very strong points of view that may or may not be optimal for the decision at hand. For example, our HR professional here believes that a potential candidate and their history of job hopping is a red flag. Maybe that's true, most of the time, but what happens when it's not? What's more, we as professionals are subject to external influences. Take, for example, the brutal competition in the restaurant industry and the fear of a bad review in a local paper, or the challenge of navigating the complex and ever-evolving regulatory environment. What's the consistent pattern here? It's the distinct language and terminology of each profession, the heuristics we apply to decision-making, and the ever-growing source of information that we're expected to draw upon. We want to help professions achieve better outcomes. Imagine a tool in advisor, a coach, a concierge, a partner that can help us see the world and its possibilities in all new ways. Imagine if you could eliminate the biases we all have, deeply ingrained within our own cognitive frameworks, and make decisions that take into account the facts, the research, and the insights of others. Cognitive computing can do just that. It enhances, scales, and accelerates human expertise. It simply makes us better. The notable prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman says expertise is acquired through prolonged experience with good feedback on our mistakes. This expertise is what informs our professionals' decision and enabled us to make them confidently. Take chess, for example. The grandmaster sees and acts on patterns that are invisible to most of us. Doctors evaluate patient symptoms against known data to make life or death decisions, one after the other, hours at a time. Both of these professions benefit from an environment of near continuous feedback, enabling them to make the types of decisions we associate with experts. But often, human expertise comes up short. Sometimes it can make errors in calculation and in reasoning and misinterpret cues from our environment. Take astrology, for instance. For millennia, the human mind has seen causal patterns where there are none. Sometimes our experience isn't as broad as we think it is. We can become overconfident, and we can make costly mistakes. The good news? Cognitive systems can truly help. Watson bridges the gap in our knowledge. It mitigates biases, it helps us generate better insights, and it discerns patterns, allowing us to make better decisions. Even more important, Watson democratizes best practices, scales the type of knowledge and intuition once limited to a select few. So the question, what makes Watson cognitive? First, Watson understands and operates in natural language. We can interact with Watson just as if we were having a conversation with a friend. And Watson understands what we're asking in the complete context of how it's being asked in that question. Watson makes evidence-based recommendations with clear levels of confidence. Let's take a look under the covers at how Watson actually does this. No guesswork, just unbiased, unvarnished facts, an approach that closely resembles the reality of how we make decisions every day. Seldom do we encounter a problem or challenge that can't be solved by a single right answer. Doctors, for example, evaluate a range of treatment alternatives before selecting the best one. And I certainly hope our financial planners weigh many investment options before making a recommendation. Watson is not bound by volume or memory or format. It can read millions of unstructured documents in seconds. And in fact, one of our larger installations today that's live ingests 27,000 new documents every single day, adding to the more than 40 million documents that it has at its disposal. I don't know about you, but I can't read that fast, and I certainly can't remember that much. At a leading university, Watson is reducing the time it takes to discover new cancer-fighting phosphates from years to a matter of days. Watson's been learning the language of professions and has been trained by experts to work across industries. The promise for all of us is the democratization of data. Analytics has become the universal translator, changing data to information. Cognitive systems are turning that information into knowledge. It's hard to envision an industry that won't be impacted by Watson. It's already making us rethink how we interact with others, how businesses gets done, and how our professions are being transformed. It will take a multifaceted approach to reinvent our world. Let's explore how Watson is at work today. What patterns and information could you glean if you could literally reason over the mountains of relevant information and actually connect this indiscernible patterns? It's really, really hard to do. This is exactly the work we're doing at the New York Genome Center, helping to find better options for addressing a highly aggressive form of brain cancer called glioblastoma. One scientist claimed it's more likely that we'll stumble upon the answer than find it scientific. This speaks to the difficulty of navigating the sea of available data. Recently, Baylor School of Medicine conducted a retrospective study that was published in August, in which they looked at a particular protein called p53. Now, This happens to be a very good protein. When activated, it inhibits tumor growth in cancer patients. This image is of a map of all the kinases, which are enzymes that chemically modify proteins. It would normally take a year just to identify one relevant kinesis, but with Watson, we can graphically map all of these kineses in seconds. Holding constant all the research and insights that have been done prior to 2003, and testing Watson's capabilities against it, Watson was able to extract from over 23 million Medline articles the relevant information and predict with 100% confidence the known proteins that affect p53 that had been found in that study. It compressed what had took a decade for researchers to discover to a matter of weeks. How would that alter medicine? How would that alter outcomes? Watson not only did that, but was able to identify 7 new proteins that had been discovered since 2003 and 6 additional phosphates that appear to have an impact on p53, which are actually now being researched clinically. Imagine how this will transform patient options and what it means to the potential efficacy of future treatments. But cognitive is more than a bespoke set of opportunities. We recently announced that we were introducing the Watson application portfolio, a quickly growing collection of Watson applications designed for repeatable use. Think target industries, think specific users, think select challenges. Here are just a couple of examples. Watson for oncology. It's kind of scary, but 1 in 5 individuals are misdiagnosed, an alarming statistic. But it's not the physician's fault. If you happen to be an epidemiologist, according to the government, you would have to read 167 hours of research every single week to keep pace with your children's practice. That's not humanly possible. And the problem is only growing worse across the industry, with medical data now doubling every 3 years, and by 2020, doubling every 73 days. No wonder less than half of medicine is currently evidence-based and largely experiential. As a result of the collaboration between IBM and Memorial Sloan Kettering, Watson for Oncology draws upon the clinical expertise of over 20 years of experience, as well as 1.5 million patient records. Watson extracts key information about each of the patient and offers a tailored, evidence-based treatment option, all at the point of care with the supporting evidence in tow. This technology is being deployed as we speak today in Bumrungrad in Thailand, serving 1.1 million patients, representing over 200 countries. They will be using Watson for Oncology to improve the quality of care they deliver to cancer patients, truly democratizing the best practice of healthcare. So let's shift gears and look at something completely different. Chef Watson generates new recipe ideas, understanding the relationship between ingredients and even the underlying chemical compositions of those ingredients. Whoever thought we'd be standing here today talking about redefining the art of cooking, spurring inspiration and innovation in the culinary arts. But the cognitive story is bigger than what IBM can do alone. This is where all of you come in. There are 2 ways to get started with Watson in cognitive computing. We have made tremendous progress building out the Watson ecosystem, and today I'm thrilled to announce the next chapter of our Watson Reseller Program. This program will allow certified business partners to get involved right away to deliver the promise and value of cognitive to their customers, to your customers. Watson is the newest brand of the IBM Software Value Plus program. In addition to all the other products and solutions you already have access to through the program, you can now resell select Watson offerings. Many of our partners are already participating in this program, promoting Watson Explorer, a solution that combines content and data from many different systems throughout the enterprise and presents it to the line of business with a 360-degree view of the data, dramatically reducing the amount of time spent looking for information and increasing the ability to work smarter. Combined with IBM's content analytic capabilities and natural language interface, Watson Explorer is the perfect on-ramp for clients looking to get started on their cognitive journey. Many of our cognitive applications will become available through the program in 2015. Drawing on the innovation and creativity of the market last year, we saw new and exciting ways to put Watson to work. This is the charter of the quickly growing network of ecosystem partners, building Powered by Watson cognitive-based businesses. We are also working with over 100 universities in 2015 to deliver the next generation of knowledge workers with an advanced understanding of cognitive computing and associated capabilities. So what does it take to empower a cognitive ecosystem? First, it's all about the technology. We started with one REST API in January of 2014, focused on the process of question and answer. Today, we have over a dozen services on Bluemix, scaling to many more later this year. We simplified our tooling and methodology to significantly shorten the development cycle and increase the application possibilities, enabling our partners to design, develop, and deploy in record time, driving time to value. All of these services are now available on the Watson Zone. We've also introduced a content store to provide the data developers need to jumpstart their cognitive applications. Content that's deeper, broader, richer, and more consumable than ever before. Watson as a service is helping businesses put cognitive computing to work, solving some of the most difficult problems and challenges and societally important situations. And its agility allows businesses to scale and add new technologies, opening up new opportunities for clients and partners to get started with Watson today. Let's take a look at some of the partners and what they are doing with Watson. I think we can all agree that there's room for improvement when it comes to healthcare. If you're anything like me, I'm always looking for ways to more effectively keep tabs on my health and identify areas in which my everyday life I can better adopt healthier habits and practices. WellTalk draws upon Watson's unique ability to process massive volumes of health data, putting into context in a matter of seconds. Building on WellTalk's health optimization platform, Tableau Concierge dialogues with the consumer, you and I, and provides dynamic, personalized guidance to optimize their health and wellness choices. Our partners are also bringing to life their vision of empowering doctors with the latest research, knowledge, and medical insight. Take, for example, Modernizing Medicine's Schema powered by Watson application, which enables dermatologists to pose queries, describe symptoms, and receive clinically relevant content at the point of care, rather than spending hours digging through it long after the patient has left the office. Serving over 5,000 dermatologists today, which is over 60% of the market share, Modernizing Medicine is helping redefine the quality of care doctors can deliver. But unlike physicians, veterinarians face a very different challenge. Their patients hop, skip, and fly into the office. And the problem is that they can't describe their own symptoms. LifeLearn is helping veterinarians deliver a higher quality of care with Sophie. They're powered by Watson application. And in fact, this app just won one of the Best in Class awards at CES just a matter of weeks ago.
The amount of information is growing at an exponential rate. For one person to stay current on all that information is just not possible. And that's where LifeLearn and Watson Group come in. With the creation of Sophie, we will be able to harness thousands of pages of unstructured data and make it available at the veterinarian's fingertips.
With Sophie, we were trying to convey the appearance of a colleague in the room.
You're one-on-one with the client, you're in real time, you can get answers right away, you're not having to run to the back, have them wait for 5 or 10 minutes or go grab a coffee.
This is a tool that ultimately is going to allow veterinarians to feel supported, and from the patient's and client side, providing greater value for the experience.
With all this technology, at the end of the day, what it really comes down to is happier, healthier pets.
You know, with puppies in there, it makes a great Super Bowl commercial. The Fluid Expert Personal Shopper, powered by IBM Watson, is targeting a very different problem: online retail consumers. The app allows individuals to ask highly personalized questions, just as they would a sales associate, and receive timely, objective, and relevant advice. But our partners are transforming more than simply retail and the healthcare industry. They're in areas as diverse as media, mining, manufacturing, as well as travel.
We're one of the very first companies to actually launch a new company built entirely on top of Watson. I built Travelocity to do bookings. I was chairman of Kayak, where we did search and mobile. But there's this whole area of travel called planning and dreaming that really hasn't been automated. So we've taken the booking data, but also Facebook data, Twitter data, deals data, location data, blog data, put it all together and put it into Watson, which is great at organizing unstructured data, and then lets you interface that using natural language, not the kind of search terms we use today.
So Terry disrupted travel once with Travelocity, twice with Kayak. We think he's going to do it again with Wavelaser and transform the way travelers seek advice. Let's take a look at some of our newest partners now and the problems they are tackling and how they are putting cognitive computing to work. IQ, as Sandy mentioned, is one of our partners that uses one of our newest APIs called Personality Insight, which generates on the fly a psycholinguistic profile based on 52 personal attributes. Their platform, IQ Insight, is a brand's best sales associate. Its facial recognition capability, combined with Watson's cognitive technology, measures shoppers' behavior and delivers a more targeted, personalized digital message in-store at the point of decision.
When a shopper provides their Twitter handle, the IQ system, with the help of System U, is able to determine that shopper's personality traits based on their social history. The system can tailor content, such as which video is played at the top of the screen, what product is recommended, the layout and type of information or special offer provided, and whether we want this customer to share their experience with their social network.
So now that you've got your new bike, you're probably excited to get out there and start using it. Maybe you'll start training for a big race. But suddenly you have that aha moment that you're going to have to get in shape. Bright-Minded is a personal training app and recommends tailored exercise and nutrition regimens aligned to a user's personal goals. It learns from the daily interaction and user data, clinical research, and online fitness expertise to determine what will work uniquely for an individual, modifying its recommendation as the training progresses and as the goal approaches to maximize results. I am absolutely amazed by what our partners have already accomplished with the power of Watson applications and the recognition that they have received. Blue Agility just this week has received a Beacon Award. They work with companies that are looking to adopt agile practices at the enterprise level and assist them in determining the appropriate tooling to best support specific departmental and corporate development needs. Blue Agility is incorporating Watson's ability into its current Dev Essentials product and platform to allow its end users to better engage with its content on its application. This is QA's interaction with taps into Blue Agility. Self-developed and curated content including public data, corporate manuals, video transcripts, and more. Our other partner, Vantage, is providing its financial know-how and private equity knowledge with Watson to create Coalesce, a tool designed to help financial analysts make faster, more accurate, evidence-based decisions. Coalesce can analyze literally tens of millions of pages of financial documents, instantly exploring available market intelligence, risk profiles, and financial performance data to provide better insights to experts making investment decisions. But you know, it's not just ISVs and SIs that are taking advantage of Watson. We recently had a cognitive computing academic challenge that we hosted, where the top team was seeded with $100,000 in funding to continue their journey. UT Austin's submission, called Call Scout, which the state of Texas has approved for a pilot, was designed to help streamline the delivery of social service information across mobile device, ensuring that critical information is available when and where it is needed, especially for citizens without home internet service.
Navigating social services is hard. %49 of the U.S. population relies on some social service. That's a lot of people who have a lot of questions. Until now, the people who rely on these services have had to call the 211 hotline to get answers. At Call Scout, we created a better way to answer these questions. We partnered with a 211 call center in Austin, Texas, to create an app that uses Watson technology to help people navigate the complex world of social services. From healthcare to food pantries, the 211 app provides answers to the questions that matter most.
Imagine, in less than a semester, these students are on the cusp of changing and impacting millions of people's lives. In fact, a third of our competitors have launched businesses with venture funding and backing, and will be coming to market later this year. 2014 was a banner year for the IBM Watson ecosystem. We made substantial progress and saw significant demand that continued to ramp throughout the year. It's been incredible to see the diversity of solutions across industries, geographies, roles, and use cases. We have announced our first wave of venture investments of the $100 million that we had committed, and we have over 4,000 prospective partners in 75 countries across 26 industries now looking to work with Watson. We've grown from 3 partners a year ago, January, to over 180 contracted partners today, a 60-fold increase in a matter of 12 months. And we're committed to amplifying the success of our partners through our advocacy program, linking them to IBM sales teams, clients, and premier industry events, as well as drawing upon the brand and business recognition and reputation of IBM Watson. We'll continue to see growth in 2015, which will come through several new partnership areas with ISVs and SIs, digital agencies, and academia, as well as expanding operations into new geographies from the UK to Australia, from Japan to Peru. IDC has declared this 2015 the year of cognitive computing. It predicts that by 2018, over half the individuals in the world will be interacting with one or more cognitive-based applications on a regular basis. Through a sustained commitment to R&D and our spend of over $6 billion in research on an annualized basis, IBM is well positioned to help support our partners on their cognitive journey. Gartner identifies IBM Watson today as the richest, most fully developed, commercially available smart advisor platform, and the market is only getting started. Deloitte has identified cognitive as one of the most disruptive technologies in its 2014 report, and sizes the market for cognitive computing at $50 billion by 2018 in the US alone. Cognitive computing is truly becoming the new competitive advantage. We look forward to having an opportunity to talk to you this week about how you'll put Watson to work and helping us transform the world. Thank you.